What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry this video took forever to film. I mean, obviously you won't be able to notice it once I edit it and upload it. I'm trying to do it all in. It's been exactly 1 week since I've been approved. As the title says, I got approved, thank God. So the things that they give you if you were to get approved at the U.S. Consulate is the famous green paper. This is the paper that they give you if you get approved. Says your visa has been approved. Your visa/passport will be sent through DHL Carrier Service or Applicant Service Center, ASC. You must collect your visa/passport at the ASC office. You select it. In my case, I selected Tijuana, Baja California, which is where I'm at right now. This is at my aunt's house in Tijuana. It takes up to 2 weeks. It says documents not claimed within 30 days of delivery to the selective DHL/ASC location will be returned to the consulate. Okay, so they say it gives you roughly about 2 weeks for your passport/visa to arrive. It has been a week and 1 day since I've been approved and still nothing. I know a lot of people have gotten their visa/passport within 3 days of their approval. Some have gotten it within 2 weeks. The way that the situation is going right now with me, I feel that it's going to be the 2 weeks exact. I've heard from many people here on YouTube that say exactly the 2 weeks as soon as on the day of the second week, which is Monday, which is 2 weeks/10 business days, if I'm not mistaken. Is it? I think, yeah, it's 2 weeks or /10 business day, which is Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sunday do not count, unfortunately. Okay, so right now I'm still waiting on the package. Usually what they say, they send you an email. So if you give an email, they're going to send you an email with a confirmation and a tracking number. That tracking number is what you take to the U.S., to the place where you pick it up, and a form of identification. In this case, your U.S. Driver's license, if you got one, the immigrant one, ID, or your Mexican credencial, if you have it. But anyways, that'll be for another video. So I'm going to be talking today about my experience in the U.S. Consulate. And what happened, the questions that they asked me, and stuff that they that we have to go through the process. So the process actually changed a lot from what I've seen on YouTube. Some of these videos on YouTube are 3 to 4 years old, so that's why I'm taking the initiative to make these videos. So you get approved again. Right now, what they're doing is you get approved. They give you the green paper, which has not changed, and now they give you this little booklet here. Says information on the legal rights available to immigrant victims of domestic violence in the United States and facts about immigrant on a marriage-based visa. I did immigrate. I did immigrate through my wife, who is a U.S. citizen. This basically just tells you your rights that you have through your petitioner and your visa-specific information. Also, if you know domestic violence, stuff like that, if your wife hits you or something like that, it's all in this booklet. Obviously, the green paper tells you how to track your information, how to track your package, stuff like that. But this is technically, in my personal opinion, this is kind of useless because I've been using the information it gives me here, and it does not help. So what I personally do is I follow this paper right here. Okay. But again, that's for another video. If you guys want to see that video on how to track your package and when the package arrives, make sure to click on my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below, so it'll take you to the other the next video, and it'll take you to other videos recording music. So you walk in to your visa appointment. Now, a lot of people say it's always better to get there 20 minutes before. In my personal experience, I got there an hour before. Let me just put it this way. The whole process from me getting there to me leaving approved was 5 hours. That is right. I lasted 5 hours in the U.S. Consulate. So if you don't want to do that, you want to get out early, I would suggest you to arrive maybe an hour early with all your documents and everything, and pretty much just get there as soon as possible. So my appointment was at 8:45 a.m. I got there at 7:40 a.m. They let me through. The paper that they're gonna ask for as soon as you walk in would be the DS-260, your passport, and the appointment letter. Well, so they asked for the appointment letter and then the DS-260, which I think it's two different ones, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure to have all your papers, all the original documents, your marriage license. So they asked for the interview letter, which is the P4, and then the DS-260. Those are the required papers that they ask you for entering the consulate. Then they'll let you know what line to make. So there's different little sections, little lines, and you go in. Then the lady, so you go into a line, and then there's a lady at close to the entrance that'll get your packet, scribble some lines on it, stamp it, and then send you off to the next person, which is the metal detectors. Now, when you're in the metal detectors, I do recommend that they don't allow cell phones in there, no type of electronics. A wristwatch is fine. I brought a watch because just to keep track of time. I know a lot of us are used to using our phones as watches. I recommend you to have a watch. I have a G-Shock, which is a digital watch and analog watch. Just to tell time, just to see, it kind of gives you something to do. So you look at the watch and kind of gives you something to do, because you can't use your phone, and you could always rustle through your papers and stuff like that if you want. But my recommendation is have a watch, because it allows you to track time, makes sometimes time go a little bit faster. Once you go through the metal detector, they kind of line you up and they tell you to follow like some arrows. They designate you into the next waiting area. The waiting area, what they do is it's like a little outdoor waiting area. So you go in through you go out to the metal detectors and you follow an outside path, and you do left, and it's like the little indoor/outdoor waiting areas. Kind of looks like a little garage, or like a little hangar. So you go, you sit down, and they sit you in these big bulky groups, and it's like chair, and then it's like groups, and there's like 4 sections, I think. So they call out, there's a guy inside, the consulate comes out and he picks up 3 to 4 rows. I think it's like 6 rows, if I'm not mistaken, in each section. And he takes them by 3 rows per section. So if you're in the specific section, in my case, I was in the 3rd section. They were barely in the last 3 rows of the 1st section. And the more people come in, they start filling out the rows accordingly to how they're entering. They don't like gaps. One thing I recommend you guys is to just follow their instructions. The reason they don't like gaps is they want to fill up every single seat to see exactly who is. So if you're going to go, if you're going to go in with a petitioner, you're going to go with the person that's asking you, just make sure that they have all the paperwork, have everything, sit down, blah, 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 and they put you up. So they asked 3 rows in. In that particular area, I lasted about an hour and a half. Because they were barely, like I said, there. So it's like about, I think they comes in and he calls people, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like 30 to 35 minutes total per group. Because they do pretty fast work, but it's just a lot of people. So I lasted about an hour and a half till my designated group was called into the U.S. Consulate. So once you're called into the U.S. Consulate, you go in, and they ask you to sit down in general chairs. Now, a lot of people have this. There's a mythology going on. There's a myth going around about the colored chairs. I can tell you firsthand that is not true. The color chair that you are sitting on does not define whether you're going to get approved or denied. I'm firsthand experience. So when they sat me down, the first time they sat you down is you go to a total of 2 windows. The first window is pretty much with like the prep team. You go in, you show them all your documents. They ask for any further document that they need to prepare the packet for the consulate, for the counselor, or for the U.S. counselor, or the person that the interviewer. Let's call them that, the interviewer. They ask you for remaining documents. In my case, they asked me for my criminal records, both from Mexico and from the United States. They asked me for some original documents. In this case was my marriage certificate, original and copy. Remember, give both original and copy, and my birth certificate, original and copy. Now, one thing that I did is I had this old birth certificate, which is like the one that they gave me. This is the one that I got when I was born, and it's pretty beat up. It's pretty beat up. So what I did was my mom actually came to vacation to Mexico, and I told her if she actually came to my hometown of Jalisco, Guadalajara. So I told her if she could actually do me the favor and printing out an updated version of my birth certificate, which is this. This actually comes really, really in handy because the one that I have is beat up. It's still good, but I recommend you, if you can, if you have any family members or someone, just to tell them to print you out a modern day birth certificate to present to the U.S. Consulate. It's a smaller version of it. It's a much better way of presenting documents. So they asked for that as soon as this lady checks all your paperwork, checks all your stuff. She says, okay, you're good. She asks you, it's like a pre-interview. She asks you a couple questions to make sure to answer honestly, but you're not under oath with her. You're only under oath with the actual interview. But she does ask you some questions. Just make sure to answer correctly and answer truthfully. So after that, this is where a lot of people get scared. You have this little number that they give you, obviously at the beginning. That little number has like a color designated line on it, and that they do with markers. Whether that depends on where you're going to be at, that's what I tell you. So a lot of people are getting the green chairs. Now, a lot of people have this theory where the green chairs, if you get the green chairs, you're automatically approved. I can tell you firsthand, that's not true. I got the black chairs. Now, that is a very scary part. A lot of people that got the black chairs was a smaller group in the black chairs than the green group. The green chairs were bigger, and then the blue chairs were a smaller group as the black chairs. So I got personally got the black chairs, and I was frightened. I was like, oh crap. Okay, well, hopefully I get approved. I was actually pretty nervous. So I sat down, and to my surprise, they were calling the green chairs more often than the black chairs or the blue chairs. But I kept seeing a pattern. Normally they will approve 3 to 5 people, depending on the case, but there will always be like that one person who was missing paperwork or just didn't cut it, and they would deny them. So the green chair people had their fair share of denied petitioners, denied claims, same as the black chairs. Now, obviously, I will say though, the black chairs, as in myself, it was more people getting denied than the green chairs or the blue chairs. So what my personal opinion on that is, maybe those are different types of more delicate cases, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe cases where the paperwork doesn't really fit, or they need more information on a person, or maybe the person has a previous record that they weren't truthful about, that they want to investigate. So one thing I do recommend is just be 100% honest. I personally got the black chairs and I got approved. I saw people getting on the blue chairs were getting approved. I saw people on the green chairs getting approved and denied. Both, all 3 colors were getting denied, approved, denied, approved. It doesn't really matter. It just depends. What my personal experience and what I think it is just depending on the case or the type of case that you have or the information that you've given. It sometimes maybe I guess it just depends, obviously, on the type of case and the sensibility and the information that you've given them that they put you in these chairs. I'm assuming that the green chairs are the more complete cases, the ones that are okay. They reviewed everything. It looks good. Go ahead. But like I said, some of them were getting denied, so it just depends. Okay, so now another thing that I would recommend you to do is, if, like me, if you speak English, definitely do so. It actually makes in my personal case, it made the interviewer a lot more comfortable because like I said, you go in line and you can hear other people's cases. You can see what they're going through. You can see the stuff that they say. You can hear the questions that they ask. So definitely, keep that in mind. So if you speak English, I would recommend you to do so because it makes the petitioners, since most of the people that are white there's like 1 or 2 people that are like I think there was like a French guy there. I don't know why, but he like literally had an accent, and he was part of the consulate. There was some there were some Latino people there that would also speak English and Spanish. But particularly in my section, it was mostly white people. So I did. There was when they call you, I did the oath in Spanish, and I actually asked the young lady. I was like, "Excuse me, can we do the interview in English?" She said, "Oh, perfect. Yes, we can." But before that, they asked you, "Do you understand? Did you understand what you oath on?" I was like, "Yes, of course I do." Okay, cool. So then she started asking me questions. In my particular case, I was asked a total of 5 to 6 questions. I'm not exactly sure how many it was. Like I said, it's been a while. The main question is, she asked me who was asking for me, which was my wife. When did I cross into the United States? When did I leave the United States? I've only crossed once, which was when I came to the United States as a baby, and then the first time came back to TJ. The first time I came back to Mexico was when I came for my interview. Those are the only 2 days that I've ever been over here. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, I've been here for a week, so I kind of know the area now. But like I said, I've never been here before. And that's the truth. So definitely always answer with the truth, because you are under oath. And they can see that. Remember, these guys have all your information. They already know what you're going to say. They already know what you need to say. So don't waste their time by making stories up, because that's only going to make their job harder, and they're going to make your job and your life a little bit harder, because they're going to ask more questions. The point is to get in and out fast enough so you just get on with the rest of your day and get approved and get out of there. They also asked me, does my wife work? I said, no. I am the sole provider of my family. She says, do you work? And I said, yes. Now, keep in mind, I was employed by a company under using a fake social. The reason I did that is because I needed money, and they know that. They knew all that. The lady asked me, "It's like, how did you work?" It's like, well, I made up a number to work because I need to work. Okay, that's cool. They know that. They don't care that you did that. The point is, you're not going to do it anymore because you're going to have a legit social now. I've never broken the law. I've never been arrested. They ask you another thing. They ask you, have you ever been in trouble with the police? Have you ever been in trouble with the law? And I said, nothing severe, only a couple of tickets, which is true. I've been arrested. I have never been arrested, but I've been given tickets, parking tickets, speeding tickets, stoplight tickets. They've taken away my car for no license, stuff like that. And they already know that. Like I said, they have all the information. So I didn't lie. I said, okay, this is this. There was people in the line that would say no, that they did it, but they did. And they found out. And that is a strike on their point. Keep in mind that if you lie to them, that's looking bad. You look bad on that. So definitely always be honest with them. Always be honest with them. Another thing that they asked me was, do you have any kids? Obviously, I do have 2 little girls. Yes. They asked me, where were they born? I told them in California. Like I said, just answer exactly what they ask. A lot of people that I saw were kind of extending the answer. They were like, oh yeah, they were born in California in this hospital at this time. Like, they don't need to know all that. They have all the information. They just want to know if you're telling the truth and if your answers coincide with the information that they have. So, like I said, they were born in California, which they were. I'm not going to give them the exact city unless they ask for it. Like, where were they born? What city were they born? Stuff like that. They didn't ask me, where were they born? California. Okay, cool. Where was your wife born? California. Okay, cool. When did you guys get married? I told them my marriage date. How long have you guys been married for? I told them the amount of years we've been married. And I told them that's the only one that I extended a little bit. I said, we were married for 5 years. We're going to be 6 years in May. Cool. Done. So, normally when they don't approve your case, they give you this little blue paper. I don't have one, but it's the size. It's like the size of this paper right here. This is just an example. Something my daughter drew for me before she left, so I'm keeping it. But it's the size of this paper. Every time a person got denied or they needed more information, they would give them this blue paper with written notes. I was kind of worried because at one point the interviewer, took out a blue sheet of paper. And I was like, oh my God, did I not get denied? Did I get denied? What's going on? She got a pen. She wrote some stuff down. She put the blue paper in my folder. And then she looked at me and she said, congratulations, your visa has been approved. And I was like, oh God, yes. Woo! I was excited. And She went into the drawer. She printed out this little piece of paper right here. They have stacks of them, so stacks of them. She gave me the little green paper. It says this is what's gonna help you track your visa. It'll be arrived in 2 weeks. They gave me this, this is your information on all your rights. They gave me exactly like this. I packed up my stuff. I said, thank you, have a good day. And I got out of there as soon as possible. And that was it. I got approved. Now it's the waiting game. Now I just have to wait for my package to arrive. And once it does, I will be showing that video. If the video is already up, obviously I'm going to film it before I edit this one and everything. So if you guys want to see that video, make sure to follow my channel. Link will be in the description below to take you to my YouTube channel, and you can kind of see all of them. I do them in English and in Spanish, so make sure to follow me. Thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'll make sure to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck and be safe.